Thank you for Snow for sponsoring this video. More about that later. Hey peeps, this is Kizu. You know, every time I cover anything new Dead by Daylight, I think, well, at least it couldn't get any worse. And seemingly behavior are lately on a challenge, quests of some kind to prove me wrong. Because after the disastrous Walking Dead patch and the controversy of the kill switch and the community managers literally being on a mission seemingly to anger the player base, BHVR have went full damage control mode, and for a time people were buying it, but seemingly the tensions might be boiling over now. So I want to give you a little recap of how things went so far. After the controversy that I've covered in my latest video, Behavior have released an announcement saying essentially nothing, really. They said, "We are so sorry," smile, and that at some point in the future they might use the kill switch for its intended purpose on time. Eventually, at some point, but I don't know. When is that going to happen? Is that actually going to realistically happen? We don't know. And they kill switched a few perks, and they also shared us the patch notes a day early for the next hotfix. And the next hotfix didn't even fix very much. It fixed a few things, but a lot of perks remain kill switched. A lot of the bug fixes it claimed to have done didn't actually happen, and introduced new bugs. And the amount of bug fixes in the first place wasn't very great. So last stand with kill switched again. Skull Merchant I think currently can stack infinite hinder from like one drone on you. It's pretty funny. Blood Rush is still kill switched. The Death Slinger fix that they've apparently fixed for the 4th time now is still bugged. And then the killer POV, like the Death Slinger experience on the killer side is still not fixed. And this is just like me basically scratching the most surface level thing. They've also murdered Fog Vials. And the reason why that's bad, even though on some maps they were egregious, is because they are inconsistent map to map now. So on some maps they're still fine, but on a lot of maps they're just completely useless and don't obstruct your mission at all. And that goes like very counter to their attitude with Kaneki, where they're just like, oh no, we want to take our time to adjust new elements, but then they give a new survivor item, and instead of like giving any time or taking like some time to fix the underlying issue that is a consistency problem, they just sledgehammer it. So again, lack of consistency. And amidst all this bad PR, there's even an article that came out talking about how Dead by Daylight players in their desperation reached out to other video game makers of just like, hey, please fix Dead by Daylight, which was a really funny movement. I think my favorite saga has to be, I believe it was Gurjiro on Twitter that started this, ratioing the Overwatch account on Twitter, saying please fix Dead by Daylight, and it was just all Dead by Daylight comments. And then when the status like update came out, there was a quote tweet of just, thank you Play Overwatch for fixing DBD. And they didn't even fix anything, Behavior that is. There's still even the gym, the poll in the offering screen, which is fucking insane. Absolutely bloody insane. Anyway, so the patch is still completely broken. They introduced new bugs. At least they're kill switching things now. So what did Behavior do? There's a lot of bad PR and seemingly people are unhappy. Well, they literally have gone on a PR damage control campaign. They announced some milestone challenge for a community, or communities forget. They released a Valentine 2024 charm, which is a heart. And they didn't, I think, realize that it still said like the Valentine 2024 collection tag at the bottom, which showcased that it's an unreleased charm. But they changed the description for it, and they framed it as a thank you to the community for sticking by with them through the summer. Like, it's just so Behavior, like it encapsulates Behavior Interactive so much that they released an old charm that they forgot to fully change to lie about it, and give it to the community. It's like, oh, thank you for sticking by with us. It is just this such a dirty and like underhanded scummy move. After that, they also posted, hey, our community managers are playing the game. If you run into them, say hi. So again, suddenly, hey guys, love us, please. We are so cool. We're interacting with the community. Just our community managers kind of like insulted you, and we have this absolutely terrible patch. We've just done nothing really to address it. After that, the next disaster has struck. They did this big event with the like Walking Dead actor as a collab. So they play with some of the biggest live streamers in the game in a custom match. Guess what? The custom match apparently has for a while now has had easy hacker problems where if you have any like lobbies slots open, hackers can like DDoS you with invites or whatever. So they literally weren't able to play a single game on the stream. And the community response to this has been like insane because like apparently Oddsdara has offered, oh, I'll just fill in all the slots with mods of my channel. So the hackers cannot like invite spam because apparently this has been a known issue for like at least months or whatever. Apparently the Otofu tournament, like they already had to deal with it. And for some reason, instead of like acknowledging that the failure of Dead by Daylight, I've seen so much like community like outcry, not outcry, but like flow support to the streamers who are like, oh, they know how to combat this issue. And God bless Odds for knowing how to combat this issue. And bad behaviors for not letting Odds fix this for them. And I'm just like, beyond the fact that like behavior for some reason didn't have like take the obvious issue like path to like remediate in the moment issue to keep like the stream going and let Odds do his thing in the first like 10 minutes of the stream. In the like them flatly just refusing to do that. That's insane. Can we talk about that? Apparently this is a known fucking thing. The behavior cannot fucking fix in their fucking game. Small indie company, by the way. And they can't fix that? And you can't tell me, oh, cheating is an ongoing problem. This is a basic thing. The fact that you can send like invites to players who are like not on your friends list, not what you whatever, anywhere, anyone, infinite spam and DDoS them, that is not, I'm sorry, that is not a complicated problem to solve. If you design your systems semi-competently, like fundamentally. I'm not speaking out of my ass there. I have a basic understanding of programming principles. I have a basic understanding of security principles, and it's just a basic thing of how your client-side interface should interface with the server side. And there should be no scenario in which you can infinitely spam invites to players you are not friends with, who you don't have anything from, and fucking time out the server. There is not even a rate limit apparently on the server side for BHVR. Not even a rate limit. So I can just send infinite packets to the behavior server and go like, sounds good. Like if it fucking CSGO, which is running on a fucking 2004 engine, like heavily modified, had that figured out. How the fuck do you behavior on the Unreal Engine have this figured out? You don't even need to like do like some kind of insane like networking backend. Like if I remember correctly, like you can like leech off like Fortnite because like Epic has all of it integrated. And even if not, like how hard it is for this like multi-million-dollar company to do the most basic fucking security things on networking. Apparently too hard because, you know, it would require them to care about the fucking players. So what have they done instead? Just nothing. It's going to be now like some kind of pre-recorded thing. And they deleted, I believe, all the VODs except the YouTube one. Maybe by the time you're watching this, the YouTube one is also deleted. And yeah, so I want to note something. I am like surprised that nobody in the community seems to be calling out that this is damage control PR campaign. Like all these like shiny things we're like throwing in front of you, they're because like they fucked up tremendously and they keep fucking up. And they don't care at all. And seeing the community just like go out in droves and like buy a new Lara Croft skin immediately has just kind of like it doesn't sicken me because like I don't think ultimately it's like that deep. It's like, you know, it's a video game. I just think like if you like buy that skin and you're like, oh, I don't care about the like I would just want to have my shiny skin. I would like everyone who's like immediately went out to buy new shit from behavior, immediately went out and like forgave them immediately. You should never complain about Dead by Daylight once again. Like ever. Ever. I feel like you have like no right to. Because when the devs can like do shit like this, when behavior can do shit like this, when behavior can just do a shitty PR damage control campaign, and it is barely blowing up in their faces. And the community, like apparently moderated Reddit, is just deleting threads of people talking about the stream controversy. And it's not like they're deleting them for spam. They're deleting big threads that, like, instead of like having tons of small threads pop up, which like is a legitimate concern on Reddit, they're deleting the big threads that talk about this issue that would instead funnel those people there. And this is not the first case I've seen this from the Dead by Daylight Reddit community. And like, I don't want to do like any conspiracy shit or behavior is secretly modern. I just think like, for some reason, the Dead by Daylight Reddit moderation team is averse to hosting legitimate criticism and callouts of behavior interactive. And I find that odd, and I find that unhealthy for the game and for its future. And I've seen the attitude that a lot of content creators, and I think specifically, I want to single out Odds, not because I think he's a terrible person, not because I think like he is like a personal failure of some kind, like obviously not. He seems like a very lovely person. I do want to single out Odds a little bit because I've seen he responded to a very rude and like I don't think charitable comment from I think a troll on stream recently that he doesn't want to be negative anymore because it attracts only negative people and it doesn't bring him joy and passion. And I think that is not a position I agree with. Do I respect this position? I respect him as a person. I don't think. I think what I want to say is Odds is the face of Dead by Daylight. Like, whether he likes it or not, whether he just like, oh, every time Dead by Daylight has a bad patch, he's oh, I'm just gonna play other things. Odds is like rather large content creator, and definitely the largest content creator in Dead by Daylight. He is the cornerstone of the public perception and honestly the new player experience of Dead by Daylight. And to see him now choose to ignore how like the initiatification of Dead by Daylight and like try to focus on the good things, it is a bad influence, in my opinion, on the future of the game. Because Dead by Daylight has become like very corporate managed. I don't think the mistakes that the Dead by Daylight is making nowadays is because, I don't know, the devs are stupid. I don't think it's because the devs are incompetent. I don't think it's because the devs are some kind of like terrible people. I think because there is an executive vision, and I don't see like it's not really a vision like coherent like game design wise or something identity wise. No, it's just a vision of how to pump out money for this game, and ultimately, without a cynical approach, without a cynical critique of what Dead by Daylight in its modern iteration is becoming, I don't believe Dead by Daylight as a video game can improve. And showering the devs in positivity for every minute change is bad. I think it is fair and good to call out the W's and acknowledge them. But I think we are creating a toxic positivity space for Dead by Daylight as Dead by Daylight becomes more corporate, more player hostile, and tries to actively exploit its player base while delivering an unfinished product knowingly. And I think to not call out this behavior is a disservice to yourself and a disservice to your community. But, you know, that is my personal opinion. You, as yourself as an individual or any content creators who might be watching this, you can feel free to disagree. But my personal opinion that Dead by Daylight is dying. Not in the sense I think like, oh, its player base is going to drop off. I think for that it's very going to take a while. But I do think that any kind of soul Dead by Daylight has had, it is kind of genuinely gone. Because there is no heartfelt energy from the Dead by Daylight team on this issue. There is nothing. I'm sure there are some devs who have it. But ultimately, after the disaster the Walking Dead patch is, we get an actively like hostile community manager response. We get a PR spin that essentially says nothing. And then we get literally PR damage control of trying to like repackage this like Valentine's Day charm as from 2024 as this like thank you to the community charm for sticking us through like the Walking Dead chapter. Then they literally just like drop some bunch of tweets of like, hey, our community manager's playing, hey guys, be chill, be nice. Then they do the stream where they do absolutely everything seemingly in their power to present them as badly as possible, but of course their original intent was to kind of like oral farm and do a positive PR spin. Ultimately, what Behavior is doing is cynically releasing a bad product knowing that they don't have to care. And so far, I unfortunately see that both the content creators, not for like actively glazing or whatever, but just through inaction and complacency, kind of like give them a free pass. And so do the player base, unfortunately, because the moment a shiny new skin releases, immediately everyone goes to buy it, even after Behavior has shut in all collective mouths. And I don't know what I can do as one person to change that. It's not like I can shout in a millions view video that Dead by Daylight bad. And even if this video did get a million views, that wouldn't convince anyone. And ultimately, I am more doing this as just kind of a little timestamp of reality, where, I don't know, I think in a year or two, we can look back. And if nothing changes, we'll probably look back and see that Dead by Daylight has become a much worse version of itself than it has been. And I think that would be sad. But ultimately, I hope that I look upon this time and upon this video, and I think how sad those times were and how much better things are now. But I don't have that hope right now, because seemingly Behavior is not interested, and it makes sense to me why they're not interested in making the game better or doing anything really for the community. Because so far, they can release slop and then just do some minor damage control and everyone just forgives them and accepts it as the norm. They don't need to change. Everything is working. It won't work forever, but that forever is a while away. And content creators, they are just part of the cycle, including myself. And that makes me feel a bit icky inside, to be honest, and makes me want to do less Dead by Daylight stuff. So, hey, maybe in the future, content on this channel will slow down. But, you know, it is what it is. And, yeah, tell me your thoughts about this whole disaster in the comments, peeps. Tell me, are you playing Dead by Daylight actively? Are you spending money on it? Do you agree with my takes about content creator responsibility to critique behavior? Or what do you think about this PR damage control thing in the general? Anyway, subscribe, like, get to the Patreon, all that good stuff. Thank you for Snow for sponsoring this video along with Sojus, Patreon exclusives, blah blah blah, soon, I promise. There's been a bunch of things going on in my life with immigration, but, you know, hopefully all resolved soon. I bet you a little reviews.
Well, would you look at that? A fun killer design. I'm sure the HBR would change it down the line. This is an update of the lowest percentile. Get anyone on the map, team. Tell me what the fuck is this tile? Once again, a change by us all unrequested. This did not turn out how the dev note suggested. Anyone involved in this design should be arrested. Here's the deep dive. I'm losing my shit! In what world is that a fucking it? Alright, no, that's it. I quit!